Hi YouTube, NintendoFanGirl here, and welcome to my E3 prediction video for Sony. Originally I was going to combine Microsoft and Sony into one video, but it was just too long and messy and blah blah blah. So all three of the major gaming companies are going to have separate videos for my E3 predictions. If you want to watch Microsoft or Nintendo's, there will be two other links at the end of the video, or you can look in the description box below for links if you're impatient and don't really care about Sony. First of all, Sony's going to put huge emphasis on the PlayStation Move. For those who don't know, the PlayStation Move is like a wand, very similar to the Wiimote. It detects movement, just like the Wiimote does. Sony swears that it's more sensitive than the Wiimote, and it does this instead of just this. To be honest, it doesn't look much better than the Wii Motion Plus, but who knows? I think Sony's big pull is going to be having more hardcore games for the PlayStation Move, because the Wii is completely lacking in that department. If they can pull out some amazing looking games that are compatible with the PlayStation Move, I think they'll be set, even though the PlayStation Move is probably going to be really, really expensive, and yeah. Personally, I think it's going to be a dud, but we'll see if E3 can prove me wrong. So expect to see a bunch of new games that we haven't even dreamed of yet for the PlayStation Move, and probably a lot of demos of that. I'm also going to be looking for some The Last Guardian gameplay, which is I'm excited for, like you wouldn't believe. The Last Guardian looks like it's going to be an excellent game. The only problem is that I don't have a PS3, but honestly, that could be what triggers me to go get one, despite the fact that I'm completely broke. We're probably going to be seeing a lot of Little Big Planet 2 demoing, and also we're probably going to be seeing a lot of stuff in 3D. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Sony's been putting a lot of emphasis on 3D gaming. Honestly, I don't care for it. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's kind of dumb. But I'm expecting Sony to be talking a lot about some 3D games and how they're going to work and stuff like that this E3. I'm not really expecting a new PS3 model because there are just so many right now, and they came out pretty recently, and because of the PS3 Slim, it's finally selling well. But I do think that Sony's going to acknowledge the problem that they have now with their systems. None of the newer systems are PS2 compatible, and definitely not PS1 compatible. So I do think that there's a chance, at least, that Sony's going to announce that PS2 software is going to be available on the PlayStation Network. But I don't know, we'll see. Then we have the PSP, which of course Sony's also going to be putting a lot of emphasis on, because I think that they're really starting to feel the hurt from their PSP Go. Nobody really cared about it, it was way too expensive, blah 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 blah. Nobody wants it. So I'm expecting a price drop on the PSP Go, first of all. It's really necessary for Sony at this point. Also, this is kind of a rumor that's been going around. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I do think it's very possible that there's going to be a new PSP model announced. The PSP has been around for a long time. It's probably not going to beat the DS anytime soon. So I think Sony might be ready to move on to a new PSP. And if not a new handheld altogether, probably a new version of the PSP at least. And regardless of whether or not there's a new system or a new model or whatever, there will be a lot of PSP games announced. It's definitely going to be a big year for E3. They do have a lot to show off, and I do believe that Sony said that they've been saving some surprises for E3. So I'm expecting them to give a good show, and I hope they do. But I'm not so sure they're going to be able to compare with the big stuff that Microsoft and Nintendo are spewing out. Sony's press conference is airing on June 15th at 11:30 a.m. PST. That's Pacific Standard Time, which means if you live over here on the East Coast, like I do, 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be live on G4 TV. It will also be on G4TV.com, IGN.com, and a bunch of other websites. I'm sure I'll put some links below. You can click them. Also links below for some of the stuff that I mentioned in this video. Check those out. Finally, if you haven't watched them already, right here is my Microsoft E3 prediction video, and right here is my Nintendo E3 prediction video. Make sure you check out both of those videos, and make sure you check back right here, right after E3. I'll be providing almost live coverage for everything big that goes on, telling you what I think about it, what should happen with it, what might happen with it, all the goods, the bads, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, third-party developers, everything. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Love you, YouTube. Bye!